Sehen wir mich gefunden doch in Chanukah-Tag und in Onyx von Chanukah, was wie mir sagt in Al-Hanissim, der Montos, Al-Hanissim Al-Atshuis.
Happy Chanukah. I'd like to ask, with your permission, each of our Chabad representatives to say a short thought about the beautiful holiday of Chanukah. As the menorah, we go from right to left. We'll ask Rabbi Mendel Silberstein from Chabad of Larchmont Mamaroneck to say a short thought in honor of Chanukah.
On Chanukah, there's a great focus on the oil. Of course, the miracle of Chanukah was that the oil they had for one day lasted for 8 days. Therefore, we eat latkes, we eat donuts, because they're made in oil. But there's something unique about oil, that any liquid you'll mix oil with, oil will always rise to the top. Chanukah teaches us, as people, we need to be like oil. You always need to rise to the top, be the best you can possibly be. And that's another message of Chanukah through the oil. Thank you.
Rabbi Benji Silverman, Chabad of the River Towns.
It's an honor to be celebrating Chanukah amongst such wonderful people. All of you are dedicated to serving the wider community. And on the menorah, there's a candle called the shamash, which is the highest candle, the one we use to light the other candle, the one that serves the other candles. Notice how it's higher. Sometimes we think if we give of ourselves to help others, we lose. But in truth, it ennobles us and lifts us up. And that's all of you. You're serving the community and it lifts you up. You are the shamash of our community.
Hi, good afternoon. It's nice to be here today. There are many reasons given why we light the menorah in the evening, not during the daytime. But I think something which is connected to all of us here today is that nighttime represents challenges, represents darkness, and many times we're faced with such challenges in life, and we have to. And the message of Chanukah is when we're faced with darkness, what do? We don't run away, we don't hide, we just light a candle. And when we light a candle, that brings in light into all challenges in life and our challenges in the community, because we believe, and this is the message of Chanukah, is that darkness, the purpose of darkness is that we should light the candle and illuminate the darkness.
Rabbi Yehuda Haber, Chabad of Yorktown.
Okay, just to add what Rabbi David said, we illuminate the darkness by lighting the candle. And in fact, every night we add a candle. When lighting the darkness, it's not enough. We start with one, but we have to always increase. And every night we add one more candle. For goodness and light, we always add.
Thank you, Rabbi Yossi Butler, Chabad of Armagh and Chappaqua.
Happy Chanukah. There is an interesting Kabbalistic thought which is mentioned in the writings of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, who is the one that initiated the whole public campaign of lighting menorahs. in the public square, the Rebbe explains that when God created the world, all he created was a candle and a wick. But the light of the world he didn't create. He created the world not as a dictatorship, but as a partnership. And he said to us, I will create the material, the potential, the candle, the wick, but ultimately the light you're going to have to put forth yourself. And that's really the message of Chanukah, that as we go through life, we must remember that these candles remind us, they're kind of a reflection of our own personal life, that we must continue every day to fulfill our potential by lighting up and illuminating the world around us as God had wanted.
Eric Wolf, Chabad of Bedford and Pound Ridge.
Being one of the lost means that all of my speeches have been taken away. But one quick thought that we celebrate part of Chanukah as a military victory of the small Jewish army against the mighty Greek army, and it represented the religious freedom that the Jewish people were able to regain in the land of Israel. And why were they victorious? We call it a miracle, that it was the hand of God, and the hand of God was with them because they were fighting for what was right. And all of us like to be popular, and particularly we're in an office, elected office, we need to be popular. But we have the challenge between being popular, and then sometimes we always need to focus on doing what's right. And what's right ultimately will bring us the greatest popularity.
Thank you. Rabbi Yisraeli Deitch, our newest representative to Chabad of Bronxville and Sarah Lawrence College.
The Torah teaches us, and how Kabbalah explains that generally the rules of nature are through the number 7. There's 7 days of the week, and everything in this world goes through the rules of 7. Being that I'm the 8th one here to speak, I really need a miracle here to dig up something to talk about. But as you see on the menorah, there's actually 8 candles, so me and the menorah, we're both number 8 here. The flame that you see here burning has a few components to it that I just want to point out. First of all, it's warm. Second of all, it's light. It's bright and it brings warmth. Now, a special thing that a candle has is that when you take one candle and light a second candle or a third candle, the candle that is the one lighting it is not losing out anything by sharing its light or its warmth. When you do a positive thing, when you do a good thing as your public work that you do here, everything that you do, you don't lose out anything by sharing it with other people. They gain the light, the goodness, the positivity, the brightness, and of course the warmth with what you do it with. So basically, when we light the candle, it's to represent that when you're doing good things, no one loses out, and you're able to give over the whole entire thing to the other person.
The Rebbe Rabbi Schneerson would always point out that on the back of the United States dollar bill it reads, "In God we trust." Mr. Estorino, unfortunately, $2 or $3 will not balance your budget.
It's a start.
But it's a good start. I guarantee you one thing, if God is on your side, the rest will work out. I'd like to honor you with a clay charity box, which has the image of the Rebbe's headquarters at 770 Eastern Parkway. It also serves as a charity box with the hole here. Please put in $2 in honor of the community of Westchester County, showing acts of goodness and kindness, hastening the day of Mashiach's coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
With your permission, I'm going to leave this on your desk.
Okay, good. We'll pick it up next year.
We take 20s too. I'm sure many of you have been to bar mitzvahs. The final aliyah goes to the bar mitzvah boy. He gets the haftorah. I didn't forget where we are. I left the best for the last. I'd like to honor the County Executive of Westchester County, Mr. Rob Estorino, to address us in honor of Chanukah, as well as presenting the proclamation in honor of the Rebbe and the people of Westchester County.
Thank you. Well, as you know, Rabbi, you were a very special part of my day, going back 2 years ago, right around this time. And 2 things come to mind from what you had said. One is, speaking of candles, it's better to light one candle than to curse the darkness. And what is popular is not always right, and what is right is not always popular. And we believe in that very strongly. And I think what's happening in society over the last decade or two, where religion is being shunned
And when you have someone who believes in God, like Tim Tebow, and yet he's being shunned and criticized and ostracized for his beliefs, I think we're turning a wrong corner in this country when we are misinterpreting what the Constitution says about freedom of religion and the public square. Nobody is trying in this country to force anyone and any religion on anyone, but I think it doesn't mean that we are running from religion, or it's freedom of religion in this country, freedom from religion. So I honor you and what you do every day for the people you serve, as I serve people in a different form. It is important that the moral fabric of this country stay strong, that families stay strong, and kids have an environment where they can live in happy times and in sad times, but live with a structure that nurtures them. So I thank you for everything that you do for the people of Westchester and your various communities. And on behalf of the people of Westchester County, I will give you this proclamation. The miraculous victory, culminating with the rededication of the sanctuary in Jerusalem and rekindling of the menorah, which had been desecrated and extinguished by the enemy, has been celebrated annually ever since during these 8 days of Hanukkah, especially by lighting the Hanukkah menorah, also as a symbol and message of the triumph of freedom over oppression, of spirit over matter, of light over darkness. And the Hanukkah lights remind us in a most obvious way that illumination begins at home, within oneself and one's family, by increasing and intensifying the light of goodness and kindness in the everyday experience, as the Hanukkah lights are kindled in growing numbers from day to day. But though it begins at home, it does not stop there. Such is the nature of light, that when one kindles a light for one's own benefit, it benefits also all who are in the vicinity. And the Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Schneerson, established 4,000 Shabbat houses and Lubavitch centers around the world, spanning 6 continents, and encourages all people, regardless of race, color, or creed, to prepare for Moshiach by increasing acts in the realm of goodness and kindness, hastening the biblical promise of a world of universal peace and harmony with recognition of the Creator. Now, therefore, I, Robert P. Astorino, County Executive of Westchester County, do hereby proclaim the upcoming 105 days leading up to the 110th anniversary of the Rebbe's birthday, December 21st, 2011, corresponding to 25 Kislev, 5772, through April 3rd, 2012, corresponding to 11 Nisan 5772, as 105 days of goodness and kindness in Westchester County, New York, in recognition of and tribute to the Rebbe. Whereas a copy of this proclamation, signed with my signature and seal, be given to Rabbi Velvel Butman, Executive Director, Chabad of Westchester County. Oh, I got an A, or A minus.
Gimel. 4 more years in office.
I made you out of clay, and when you're dry and ready, oh dreidel, I shall
Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you.
Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you. Thank you.
See you soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Rabbi. Yeah.
Chanukah, how are you? Was macht ihr? Gott sei Dank. Nice to see you again. Thank you so much. Freiliche Chanukah. Hey, happy Chanukah to you. Thank you, to you too. Hi, have a happy Chanukah to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, have a happy Chanukah. That's a dreidel for Chanukah. A Chanukah dreidel. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made you out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel, I shall play. Have a happy Chanukah. That's two for you. Freiliche Chanukah, you get a double.
Just like you thank you for coming today. I very much appreciate all the gifts, especially the replica of the synagogue in Crown Heights, because I happen to be from Crown Heights. I was born there.
Really?
Yeah,
Where
absolutely. Prospect Park Place, just on the edge of Crown Heights. And you know, we welcome you here at the Department of Public Safety, and we hope to see you for many years to come. And we wish you a wonderful holiday.
Commissioner, pleasure to meet you. God bless you.
For those of you who don't know the story, we have to repeat it every year. We were running around at an event at Village Hall, and Marla says, how about if we light a menorah? So we went back to the board, and it took, what, 32 seconds, I think it was, and if that long. And, of course, we supported it, and we said, well, where do we get one? How do we do it? And she said, wait a minute. And 42 seconds later, we have the wonderful donation of the large menorah outside from Rabbi Buttman. So we'd like to thank Rabbi Buttman for the donation of the menorah. And we would like to thank and welcome a very great friend to the Village of Elmsworth, who in a minute will have some wonderful inspirational words for us, Rabbi Val Buttman.
The holiday of Chanukah inspires us. Yes, we can do better. As the word Chanukah means education. Every child deserves a chance. But we have to go out of our way to make sure that every candle is truly lit. May Almighty God bless this beautiful community of Elmsford with all of you beautiful leaders and each and every single one of you with long life. And as the Rebbe would say, the human being is very much like a candle. It has three ingredients: a lump of wax, a thread of wick. But what good is wax and wick? Not much. But when you strike a match and you put the heat of the fire to your wax and to your wick, suddenly your candle begins to shine brightly. Every human being has a body. That's your wax. And every human being has a soul, a God-given soul. That is your wick. When we put the heat of the beauty of the divine plan of creation, the beauty of a smile, the beauty of an act of goodness and kindness, suddenly human beings turn into living candles. May God bless us all to shine brightly.
Yeshu oise